Hey guys, Moldran here, and many people asking me which zones I'm farming now after the mob density changes in patch 1.0.8, and I decided to make a video of my top 5 farming zones. Now there are different things. You can either maximize your experience leveling for Paragon, or you can maximize your legendaries per hour. In this video I'm gonna talk about the legendaries. This is mainly for people who are already Paragon 100, who don't need to level experience or grind experience anymore, or for people who are not Paragon 100 but don't want to min-max the leveling experience, because of course they have higher motivation if you're not Paragon 100 yet, so they are like, okay, I don't need to just maximize experience, I want to maximize legendaries, I want to find many items, make profit, whatever. And just like in my last videos, I'm gonna make 5 zones which are really good, in my opinion the best. I haven't fully tested it yet, but it seems that they are really good and better than others. And it's a bit different than on the PTR because they changed a few things. Luckily they reverted the Weeping Hollow nerf, but yeah, let's get started. So the first zone is the same that I was just talking about. Here you can start at any quest, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna start here at the Imprisoned Angel, and I'm gonna go to the Weeping Hollow. Now you go to the Cemetery of Forsaken. Then what I do with this build is I'm gonna equip my one in the weapon to build some Fury, and then switch to the Scorn and basically run, as you can have seen probably in my other videos already. Get the Bell Wedge going, get some Fury for Rough Berserk, and then I switch weapon and start the party. Now you can also do this with other characters than Barbarian, as long as you have some AoE damage and can farm fast and efficiently, shouldn't be any problem. Now if your gear is not good enough to handle MP10, because MP10 is really hard, especially in some of the other zones I'm gonna show later, then you could simply go down to MP8, because MP8 you can do probably with a 5 million gold budget, and on MP8 the bonus drop chance is still 71%. So you don't lose that much, and it's really good if you don't, or if you are not able to farm MP10 because the monster HP or DPS is too high. Okay, that was the first zone. The map layout of Weeping Hollow, you can see here, it's always the same. Dungeons are different sometimes, but usually it's always the same, so you can always clear the entire thing, and usually at the end you get a kill streak of 600, 700 zombies. It's really good. So I'm gonna log out of this run that I just did now and go right next to the next zone, the Fields of Misery. And by the way, the legendaries per hour I'm gonna show at the end an Excel sheet, but it's really good. On average 7 legendaries per hour per zone. I didn't test enough yet, but more on that later. Now Fields of Misery, you can basically start the same quest, you press resume game, and you go to the Fields of Misery. Now this is pretty similar to the Weeping Hollow. You have a zone that always looks the same, as you can see here, and again only the dungeons vary. But yeah, what I really like about this zone are the goats. Like there's so many goats, kind of like reminds me a bit on the cow level of Diablo 2. Really amazing, and of course also really effective for legendaries because there are so many mobs in like always big groups. What I also wanted to say is the advantage of the Weeping Hollow, of course, is you slay zombies there. And zombies, they always remind me of Diablo 1, like the first levels of the Cathedral, or Diablo 2, the first maps. The slow zombies, like really easy to kill. Oh, and there we already have a legendary. Wasn't intended to farm legendaries while making this video, but if they are here, why not just pick it up? And it's a 1 Kimlau. But yeah. Those are my 2 Act 1 zones. Now I'm gonna show you the Act 2 zones. Now there are 3 zones in Act 2 that I also run. Those are the other zones. I don't have like any preference of those top 5 zones yet, because I'm still testing. I need a lot more data, but they're all effective, and that's what counts. Now for Act 2, it's a bit different. For Act 2 it actually matters which quest you select. So first, actually the 2 zones are the Eastern and the Western Channel. Eastern Channel seems to be slightly better, but I can't confirm this yet. But this is important. If you want to start to farm this, start the quest Blood and Sand Waterlogged Passage, because it makes it much easier to get to where you need to go. And then you go to use the teleport, the waypoint to Dalgur Oasis, and then it's just a matter of finding the entrance, do the hidden aqueducts, which I'm gonna do here. Again, I'm gonna start my Rough Berserker, helps here with finding the place. And yeah, this is a bit RNG, like sometimes you find it in 15 seconds, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But I'm gonna find this hopefully anytime soon. Now, it's always, here you can see it was pretty quick this time. It's always in the northeastern side of the map. Like not very northeastern, but always around northeastern, then here. Then you go to the bridge, you enter the ancient waterway, and then you can already go here to western channel, or you can go to eastern folk, central, and you can go to the eastern channel. And I'm only gonna show one, but they are both really, really good. They don't always have the same mobs, that's important. They don't always have the same mobs. Sometimes they have skeletons, sometimes they have other mobs. But overall, like no matter what mobs they are, it's always effective. And those are my favorite groups, like the red skeletons. They can sometimes come in groups of 70 or 80 at literally one spot. Really fucking amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show here. Another trick that I can show you is, if you want to leave the zone, the best way is you just TP out and then you press resume game. And here you can see one such group. It's not even a big one. Like for Eastern Channel standards, this is a small group. It's just a normal group. If there are many red skeletons, they can grow even bigger. I'm just trying to find one, but sometimes you have to explore the entire map. But this is also important. Don't always explore the entire map. Like if you reach a dead end or if you reach the exit, just TP out and start a new run. It's often the best way to farm. And there is also like a nice constant stream of skeletons. And it's really fun to play this. Like skeletons in Diablo, they've always been like one of the monsters that are really fun to slay and to kill. And that's what Diablo is about. Like Diablo actually is really good. If there's one thing where it's really good, it's killing monsters is actually really enjoyable in Diablo. Yeah, pretty much what entertains me to play the game right now. Although I don't play that much right now, but yeah. And this is actually a really big Eastern Channel layout. Now the maps aren't always that big. I'm actually surprised a bit myself, but we should come to an end soon. And here I can show you now the teleport track. TP out, leave the game, and I press resume game right after. And you can see the teleport is here again, so I just go in, Eastern Channel, and repeat the story. Western Channel is exactly the same, so you can't do anything wrong here. But now I really want to find one of those big groups of red skeletons. Like I often find them at the start, but not always. Maybe I'm lucky this time. And yeah, they often also drop legendaries. Now, the bad thing is they nerfed the drop chance of the red skeletons. The white skeletons have better drop chance for items, but still, like, the numbers add up. Like, if you kill 70 mobs at one, even if the drop chance got nerfed, it's still significant. And my average legendaries per hour, I think in this zone are like 8 or 9 legendaries per hour, on average. Now, this is only in a matter of a few hours, but... Oh, and there we go. There's another legendary. And it's an Andaria. Also made a kind of joke a few days ago, like how many legendary helms do you need to find a Memper? Because most of them really seem to be Andarians. But yeah, it's a bit sad. Like I would like to see more Mempers because that can actually be useful compared to all those Andarians which usually end up being Brimstones. But yeah, let's go to the last zone now. The Stormholds. Here, change the quest. The Black Soulstone. Doesn't really matter which one. I usually go for the Soulstone Chamber. And here there's also a trick that I can show you. Not just with teleport out, but here you can also, it's important to talk to Leah, so you get a checkpoint. If you talk to Leah, you get a checkpoint. You can see reach checkpoint, then you can enter the Stormholds. same procedure with starting up the Fury and everything. Get this run going. Some runs have these 4 maniacs, but they are way less scary than the ones in Act 3. You can see I easily survived them. And yeah, this zone also has 2 different type of monsters. Both are enjoyable, but about this zone it's important to know that this is probably the most difficult zone out of those 5. So this is like for the better geared players between you, but this zone, like similarly with the Eastern Channel, has a really high drop chance, actually the highest of all maps. And this actually got potential now. Like, it's amazing, like I play for 5 or 10 minutes and I find 3 legendaries already. But that's how it always goes, and you can witness this every time I stream the game. Now what I wanted to say to end this is the advantage of Act 1 is, in Act 1, Fields of Misery and Weeping Hollow, you always have the same map, as I showed you earlier in this video. The Stormholds and the Eastern and Western Channel, they're always random, so if you play them enough you get an idea of how they're usually structured, but it's not always the same, so they're a bit randomized. But yeah, for me that's not really an issue, just gotta be creative, find an effective path in those maps, and if I'm able to do that, you're gonna have a lot of fun. And if you're able to have a high kill speed, like I have, you're gonna find a lot of legendaries. And what's also important is, when it comes down to like finding the right monster power for you, like you should be able to kill mobs with 1 rend. So if I rend once and then also burn them, they should be down, because if you don't do that, or if let's say 60% of the mobs survive, you should just go down 1 monster power, where you can instantly kill them, and then you are very effective again and gonna find lots of legendaries again. So yeah, at the end, I just want to show you this Excel sheet. That's the current data that I collected, and yeah, you can see pretty much average legendaries is 7 out of all zones. Some zones of course have more than others, but 3 hours of testing is not enough by any means, but it shows already that on average the new zones are definitely better than the old keep depths too. And that's also what many other people told me, so this is not just what I came up with, but it seems to be like the opinion of most people now. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. I'm gonna try to make more videos in the next times, maybe even 2 videos a day, because I've been pretty inactive the last few days. Gonna do my best and hope you enjoy my content. Thanks for watching, I'll be back.